Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Paramotoring. We are in Christmas, Florida today, flying the St. Johns River, and I have been extremely excited to show this footage for a long time. I first flew it back in April and then again in June, and I just had a blast flying in this location. We got to see a ton of gators, as you can see here, and it was an amazing amount of fun. There's way more gators than I was able to put in this video, but I must have seen at least 50 gators, maybe more, and it was just a freaking blast. It's about an hour and a half long flight that we do out here, and just it's really, really beautiful and really cool to fly around in this particular scenery. So this is an interesting part of the St. Johns River because the water is a little bit lower. Most of the areas that you're going to see on the St. Johns are pretty big, pretty wide. I mean, you know, quadruple, maybe quintuple the size that you see here, and it's just like one steady river. But this got tons of open spots. It's kind of a lower point, if you will, of the river, and so just a really awesome location to fly. And tons of outs. Like, you know, if you kind of take a look here, there's this road off to the left-hand side there. Every now and then you'll see airboats coming through and different fishing boats coming through. And actually that's kind of a cool aspect because a lot of these gators have gotten used to sort of the sound of, these fans blowing these really loud noises. And so I think that they're sort of a little less scared of us as a result of that. Here's Drew cutting it up on his new wing. I believe it's a 15 or 16 meter drift air, whatever size those come in. Absolutely cool colors. I love the orange and the blue there. But this was his first time out here, so we were super stoked to have him fly with us and get to see all the cool scenery. I don't think it's exactly what he was expecting, but yeah, we got some really cool close-up shots of him. So really my MO when we fly here is fly high and low. I really like flying low in this particular area, just because you do see so much more of the landscape. It's really cool up high, as you saw earlier, just kind of seeing it at large, but flying close to the river like this, you get to just interact with the gators a little bit more. You get to see them dive, which is a blast. That first one must have been like 10 foot plus in the opening clip there, and was super scary because the thing about the gators is the small ones dive like every single time, and it's not really that scary with the small ones. They're like 3 foot max, it seems like, for the most part. But you come across a 10-foot gator and they generally don't move. And I think it's because they're used to the airboats. They've been around this area probably for a long time, and that sort of stuff doesn't bother them. So when I flew across it and it dove, I thought it was jumping at me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going under. Thank God that didn't happen. I probably won't fly that low to the big gators again, or maybe I will. I don't know. We'll have to weigh the risk versus the reward, but even outside of the gators, I mean, look how beautiful this is. You literally can't beat this view. You got the sunrise in the background. You've got the ice, just smooth as ice. Water here. It's super still, super peaceful flying out here, and you can do a lot of different things. This was the first area that I did a water foot drag. There's tons of area around here that have really shallow water. I don't have that on camera, so I'll have to get some footage of that as I practice that more and get in better spots. I will say foot dragging water is infinitely different than foot dragging grass and flat land and whatnot. It seems to want to pull you in, so you definitely got to be more careful, kind of lead with your heel, if you will, and it's almost like skiing to some regard. All right, so in an earlier video, I mentioned a scary moment that I have. This is from the April flight, and so I'm having a blast. I crossed that bridge there. I'm like an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes in. You can see my fuel right now. I'm like probably at like 6 liters, but I must have been climbing or looking at the fuel tank wrong. I swear it looked like I had like 2-3 liters left. And I was like, oh my God, I'm an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes away. there's no way I can follow the river and make it back the way that I came. Because essentially what we did is we went down this highway, and then you get to the river where there's this boat ramp, and then you basically just follow the river down. And you want to give yourself enough time to get back. Well, I definitely didn't. Even with the 6 liters here, I probably wouldn't have had enough time to get back even trims out. So thank God for the Gaggle app. It was like, hey, you can make it back to the site in 20-25 minutes by crossing the sea of trees. I was like, well, I don't have a choice, so let's go. So this is some time skipping here, but that point where I first got to that one bridge there and decided to head this way, I'm looking at all of these trees and I'm thinking, oh my God, am I going to make it? I've got like 15 minutes worth of fuel. It's saying I'm going to take like 25 minutes to get back. This is absolutely nuts. And so I got to that clearing and I felt a lot better. It took about 10-15 minutes to get to that clearing. And but the whole time, I'm flying as high as I can, just continuously climbing to make sure that I can, make it back to the LZ. And thank God I did. So see the landing here, and actually landed downwind crazy enough, but it was totally fine. I split off the energy slowly and ran it out, and it was good to go. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.